going to talk about ammonites. Ammonites are a species of marine life that are no longer here. They went extinct about the same time as the dinosaurs and disappeared from our oceans. But ammonites are members of the nautiloids. They are much like the cephalopods in that they have tentacles and they have shells. This is an ammonite shell. It looks like a lot of modern shells in that it's a spiral casing. But remember again, the thing that we have preserved is the hard body parts. Its shell, its chambers. And so this is a lot like the chambered nautilus in some respects, but it is a different species. They are ammonoids. That's like taking an octopus and sticking it in a chambered nautilus because it has the tentacles. This is an ammonite also. To me, this is a sad ammonite. Let me tell you why. Because this ammonite, I know what its outside structure was like. When I look at this ammonite, I know what its outside structure was like. When I look at this one, I know what the outside structure was like. A lot of times when we try to preserve and change the appearance of something, we get rid of its scientific value. In this case, when you cut it and you polished it, this piece is from Morocco. They love to sell these. When they're polished like this, somebody says, oh, that's so beautiful. But the scientific value is lost. So remember, sometimes when things look really beautiful, they also may mean that some of the scientific value of that particular specimen is lost. If you look on the outside, they've also been polished there. So what it really means is, this is nice to show you what the inside structure was like, but this is a more valuable fossil in scientific terms. So a lot of times we don't realize that. But if we really want to know the specimen and what it's like, for instance, this specimen here is a scientifically valuable specimen, not only because the outside is there, but the matrix is there. In other words, what was the background rock or mud or material like? We can take a sample of this and test it and find out what was the composition of the original rock. What was the composition of the original material? So much science is left in this rock versus the one which is polished. But ammonites are one of those unique things that they were all different. This one is an unrolled ammonite. That means it didn't get all the way coiled up, but you can see that it eventually could coil up. So each species is different, but ammonites are a valuable tool in telling us what went wrong in those oceans so long ago. What caused them to go extinct? What they found out is the oxygen in the water and the temperature of the water changed. Now, we always think about modern day times when we talk about global warming. It's not the first time this planet has ever been warm. In fact, we find ferns in Alaska. And Alaska hasn't moved all that far north. What it tells us is that the earth was warmer at one time. And a lot of things that could survive in the warmth, when it got cold, they disappeared. And vice versa. Some things that were cold, when it got warm, disappeared. That's what the concern is about global warming. Could it happen that we are the species that's going to disappear if it gets too warm? That's something to think about.